Hello. So it has already been a day, and let me tell you, I'm about to get a little ranty. I got a phone call from my son, my oldest, who is in high school, and he called me at about 10 a.m. this morning and said, Mom, you have to come pick me up. And I said, why? And he said, because a kid came to school with COVID, and now they are contact tracing all of us, and there is a room full of us that have to be picked up by our parents. And of course, I screamed the F word very loudly because my kids got about 10 days of school in because we stayed virtual. Obviously, we understood that this was a possibility because we are living in a global pandemic. But at what point do people take responsibility for themselves and their households? And could you please get off this couch, Ruth? And stop sending their kids to school sick. This child came to school with a fever and a cough. I'm so pissed off because this is happening to families across the globe every single day, and it's mutual respect. It's mutual respect for humankind. Don't send your kids to school sick. Stop. I understand that people have to go to work and there are circumstances, but when you're in the middle of a global pandemic, because COVID-19 is real, and you send your kid to school with a sore throat, a fever, and a cough, which are the main symptoms of this virus, you keep that kid home, you take them to the doctor, and you have them tested so that 150 high school students don't have to be quarantined for 14 days. And then potentially the rest of their families and anybody that they've come in contact with. It's about human decency and respect. It's why I wear a mask, because I'm not going to argue with science, okay? They say wear a mask. They say wash your damn hands. They say stay 6 feet away. That's what I'm going to do, okay? Because of mutual respect for the other people on this planet. So maybe we stop making selfish decisions because there are so many people out here who are being negatively affected by this. It's ridiculous. Everything about this is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, I don't need to know the kid's name. But I'm pissed off at those parents. You better believe I'm pissed off at those parents. Don't send your kid to school sick. Why would you send your kid to school sick? First of all, why are you doing it in the middle of a global pandemic? Okay? The nurse clearly stated to me, because I asked, is the kid symptomatic? Was he coughing all over the place? Yes, showed up with a cough, sore throat, and fever. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. So we have to go to the clinic. We have to get COVID tested. I am then calling people I've come in contact with, friends that I have seen, and the schools for my other children. Okay, so, and of course, we got a rapid test. Girls, get the dog. They're friggin' tearing each other up. Then we were able to get a rapid test. We've all tested negative at this point, but she said if symptoms show up in the next 2 to 3 days, you need to come back. You need to get another test. This is about mutual respect for human beings. Do not send your kids to school sick. If you have to not go into work because your kids are sick, then that's what has to happen. Because now 125, 150 high school kids and teachers, staff, are being quarantined as a result of one kid who showed up to school COVID positive with symptoms. Everything about this is just, it is a disrespectful, disgusting mess. Why? Why? The school did send him away when he registered with that, but he had already, they sent him and said, take your sick kid home and go get him a COVID test. And he was positive. So they sent him to school with symptoms for 1.5 days technically, because I guess he left the school feeling really sick, came back the next day any damn way, and then went and got his test. Okay? People are selfish. People are disrespectful. It's simply, it is absolutely not, there's nothing, watch how easy this is. Watch how easy this is. Here's my mask. I'm still totally fine. Okay? Very simple. It's very easy to do. Okay? It's very simple. Wear a damn mask where you're supposed to be wearing a damn mask. Don't send your kids to school sick. Do what's right. Do what's decent. Be respectful to the school, to the staff members, to the kids, to everybody involved. Our country is lacking respect, mutual respect for each other. And the little bit of normalcy that we're trying to give to our kids by sending them to school is being ripped out of our hands because people don't follow the rules. Rules are here for a reason, right? We sometimes we hate the rules, but then there are other times that it's like, yeah, it's a great idea to follow the rules during a global pandemic and not send your kid to school sick so everybody's kids can get to go to school, and then people don't follow the rules. Why? Because you think the rules don't apply to you. The rules apply to all of us. It's just that some people choose not to. They don't want to follow the rules, and then they screw the pooch for everybody else. It's disgusting. I'm over it. I'm pretty sure everybody is over it. Okay? And those parents thought it was totally cool to send their kid to school sick. Take them to the doctor. Take them to the doctor. It really is, it's really a sad state of affairs when we can't even trust the other parents of our kids' schoolmates. Because this is on them. These parents just decided to ignore the fact that their kid was sick. I have 3 kids. I can tell you that if one of them starts running a fever and hacking up a lung and is symptomatic, I'm going to take you to the urgent care clinic. Yeah, we're going to get you a test. Yeah, we're going to figure this out. They don't even charge you for the COVID test. We walked in. We said he got sent away from school for contact tracing. They swab him and they go. Yeah, and for everybody in here who's bitching and griping and saying this is political, it's not politics. This is about mutual respect. It's not about politics. I don't care what side of the line you fall on, red or blue. We're in the middle of a global pandemic and we're trying to find normalcy for our children. Be respectful and don't send your kid to school sick. And there should be consequences for the parents of the kids that do that, because that kid is a minor. If his parents say, no, you're okay, go ahead, it's probably allergies. Bullshit. Your kid's running a fever, hacking up a lung, and COVID-19 is everywhere? No. It is a lack of mutual respect, because everybody is so selfish these days. They think the only thing that matters is what's going on in their little circle. And I had to explain to my son, who is very upset because he was just starting to get excited to be in a new school, a freshman in high school, just starting to kind of get the swing of things. I said, what you have to understand is we have to worry about all of the people that we potentially could have possibly infected if we are COVID positive. And we have to do the right thing and call and let these people know or send a text. And and that's right. You think this virus cares which side of the election you're going to vote for? Do you think this virus cares if you're red or blue? It doesn't. It doesn't. It's mutual respect. Our country is lacking mutual respect. So we went, we got tested, we texted everybody that we've been in contact with, and we let them know what's going on and what our status is. My kid doesn't get to go back for 14 days no matter what. But it's about being respectful. And what I am talking about is a symptomatic student coming in. I'm not talking, because everybody knows too, this could have been asymptomatic, but this case was not. This case was not. This kid came to school sick. His parents sent him to school sick. That's my problem. That's my problem. And I don't, yeah. Whatever. And if you want to be in here and you want to tell me that this is all political and COVID's going to go away after the election, that's not really how things work. It's not how a virus works. It isn't. It's selfish people who choose not to follow the rules. Just follow the rules. Even if you don't want to wear a mask, or even if just follow the rules. When I wasn't feeling well 2 weeks ago with this sinus infection, I went straight into the doctor. They looked at me. I didn't have the outlying COVID symptoms, but I did have a sore throat and a stuffy nose, so they swabbed me anyway. And I let people know that I was in the process of being tested. I got my results back. I was negative. Done. But I did what I was supposed to do, which is the respectful thing to do, which is to pay attention, because we're in the middle of a pain. Think about how pissed off you were last year when you found out somebody came in to an area with the flu and you could have come in contact with it. Think about how pissed off you are during flu season. This is not flu season. The amount of people who have died from COVID-19 at this point totals the last 5 years worth of flu deaths. Yeah, election or not, red or blue, whatever you do, don't send your sick kids to school. Sherry, we have tested negative. My son can't go back to school. But the way contact tracing works is it is the student who was potentially in the class with that student that they quarantine, not the others. Because I also asked that too. Do I have to go pick up all of my kids from school? And the answer is no. So we are going to keep an eye on everybody, obviously, but nobody is showing symptoms. But yeah, I'm over the fact that we can't have a mutual respect. Right. Because in years, there used to be mutual respect. And there used to be people who cared about others and the consequences of their actions. And that's just, entitlement is running rampant like a friggin' wildfire. And you can, if you want to sit in here and you want to say that this is political bullshit and this, that, and the other thing, whatever floats your boat, you can call me a friggin' Karen, you can do this, that, or the other thing. But I'm telling you right now, until people start having respect for one another and making the choice that needs to be made, and following the rules of the CDC guidelines and the protocol for all of these things, and wearing their mask when they're out in public and washing their damn hands and paying attention, this is going to continue on. We all keep saying we want 2020 to go away, but we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing to make sure that this doesn't bleed over into 2021, 2022. And that has nothing to do with politics, because after this election is over, this is still going to be here, and we're still going to be trying to figure out how to find freaking normal. Because you shouldn't be sending your kids to sick school anyway. But it is a global pandemic, so maybe we don't do that. Care about your fellow neighbors. Care about the kids in your community that are going to school. Care about the people in the nursing homes. Care about the people who are immunocompromised. Care about your family members and your friends. Do your part to care about those people. Instead of laughing and running through stores, not wearing masks and shouting about how this is politics. It's not politics. It's science. It's not politics. It's mutual respect. It's not politics. It's not being selfish. So we will be watching him and ourselves. And if we have to retest because we show symptoms, we will retest on Friday or Saturday. But I will, as of right now, everybody is negative. What?
Yeah, people, well, they couldn't afford to miss work, or they're going to lose their house if they miss work. We lost our house. We couldn't afford to miss work. And we kept our kids home when they were sick 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. I understand how hard it is to miss work and have to keep your sick kids home when your livelihood depends on it. We've gone bankrupt. We've gone belly up and had a bank take away our home. And when my kids were sick, I had to miss work. There were times when I was a teacher, my husband and I were both teachers, where I didn't collect a paycheck. Not a cent, not a dollar was given to me. I was just given a stub that said 0. Because I had little kids that were always sick. So I know exactly what that's like. I know exactly what it is to be bankrupt with nothing. My husband had COVID, so scary, 10 days in ICU. What Tracy just said, you don't want COVID, respect other people.
Drop it. Stop.
Yeah, common courtesy, common decency. It's just... So I will leave it at that. And we are going to keep doing the appropriate things.
That's funny.
What?
Danielle, we have COVID here in Kuwait, and we have nothing to do with American politics.
Yeah. So we will continue to do what we are told to do and move forward. But be respectful. Just be respectful, people. Like, they're not, the steps that are required of us are not taxing. They're not. Wearing a mask, washing your hands, keeping your distance. No, Megan, I'm not living in fear of COVID. I'm not living in fear of it. What I'm telling you is, if we don't do what we're supposed to do now, we're 7 months in. We are 7 months in. Our kids can't go to school on a regular basis. What about this is normal? Tell me not to live in fear. It's not about me or my kids get it. We're healthy people. I know that complications could happen, but we're healthy people. I'm talking about all the people that I potentially come in contact with if we were to have COVID that I could give it to who are older or immunocompromised or have a problem. I'm talking about mutual respect. I'm not living in fear. But when I go out, I'm going to do the things that I am told to do to keep myself and others safe. That's not living in fear. Wearing a mask does not mean I live in fear. Washing my hands and keeping my distance does not mean I'm living in fear. It means I understand that science is real. And this virus is real. I'm not living in fear. What I want people to do is be respectful. This isn't even I don't understand. Okay. Yep, Carol, it's not living with fear, it's living with responsibility, which all of us adults have, or at least we should. So on that note, have a great day. I'll keep you guys updated. But as of right now, everybody is COVID negative. I will see you all soon. Tonight at 9 for Wines Day. Bye, guys.